Attention, unidentified vessel. You have no faction markings or registered manufacturer. Please maintain course while we scan you. Assuming scans even work on whatever it is you're flying. Alright, we're done. You're cleared to land at New Atlantis.
Green lights on outer hatch. We're docked.
Captain Chris. Do you require my assistance?
Still need to lift another set today. Never regretted coming out of retirement. Constant. The eye's still looking. Check later.
Unregistered starship, we're detecting... Well, it's what we're not detecting that's an issue. What's powering that thing? You know what? Just hold still while we do the contraband check. Scan complete.
What can Reliant Medical do for you? Hello. Hope you're feeling well today. Well, it's completely dependent upon how long the user's been addicted. People have been using for, say, 2 years or less. I've been able to put through a full detoxification program successfully. But there are others who have been addicted pretty much all their adult lives, and I have yet to try and cure someone who hasn't relapsed. Aurora stimulates the neural circuits in the brain, specifically targeting the neurotransmitter serotonin in the prefrontal cortex. This causes significant sensory hallucinations, both auditory and visual. That's the enticement factor. As you can imagine, this state is highly addictive, and the user gets stuck in a vicious cycle. They need more Aurora to satisfy their cravings. Let me look you over. Not so bad, really. Straightforward zipper job, really. There. Good as new. More or less. That would be amazingly helpful. It's a relief to meet someone who gives a damn about anyone other than themselves for a change. Oh, and I'll pay you directly for the supplies, of course. It's the only way I can sneak them past Bayou's people at the spaceport. There's nothing to worry about. As long as packages aren't coming off a commercial vessel, the authorities won't scan them. That's why this has to be done slowly and methodically. If I get too much all at once, they'll catch on to my scheme. I use the proceeds from my paying customers. And by cutting a few expenses here and there, I'm able to use a bit of my own money. It's not a bother, really. The cots here at the facility are actually quite comfortable. There's nothing else to be done about it. These people need my help. Anyway, I have a contact over at the clinic in the Narian system. Abby Edding. She's one of the nurses there. She'll get you started. Thank you so much for doing this. You have no idea how helpful it'll be for the poor folk that live in Ebside. Try not to get hurt out there.
Awaiting your orders, Captain.
We're locked in.
Captain Chris, greetings.
There's certainly no shortage of things to do around here.
Are you here for a procedure? Need something? Hey, let's keep our voices down. The clinic doesn't exactly know I'm giving its supplies away. That being said, I've been expecting someone soon. I've heard Bayou really has a vice grip on Neon right now. I have some supplies I can give you. Should be more than enough for now, and it shouldn't draw any suspicion from the clinic. I'll have them loaded onto your ship. Sorry, I can't do that. This is the most I can give you without drawing suspicion. You're starting to make a lot of sense. Oh, I really shouldn't do this. If the clinic finds out... All right, you win. You're very persuasive. I can throw in a few extra supplies, but I'm not going to make this a regular thing, okay? They'll be loaded onto your ship.
Welcome to Freestar Space. We're gonna do a quick scan for contraband. You could be on your way. And that's it.
Hello there.
What can Reliant Medical do for you? Hello. Hope you're feeling well today. Fantastic. That'll really help out around here. Thanks for everything. These supplies will be put to good use. Here, take this. I threw in a bit extra for you, since you really came through for me.
I'm here for you. Should you need me. Eager to help, if I can. I am happier than I can ever recall being. I believe that is largely thanks to you. Then I shall be sure to say it more often. Until our next talk.
Not interested.
It's a starport of New Atlantis.
Here in Neon, you live in the rarefied air of...
We sell only the finest goods for the discerning customer. Are you sure you're in the right place? You certainly don't look like one of our usual clientele. I take it from your tone I've made an error in judgment. Please forgive my disrespect. We have quite a few, shall we say, thugs that find their way into my establishment and create a disturbance. In fact, there's a particular Seoka member who calls himself Headlock, who repeatedly torments me by damaging my goods. My education on Jemison consisted entirely of academics and poetry, so it's unlikely I'd be successful in that regard.
I agree that in the long term, that would be advisable, but it does not solve the immediate problem, does it?
Anyway, I've already taken up too much of your valuable time. Was there anything else I could help you with? Oh my goodness, that's such a relief. You have no idea. Thank you for accepting my offer. Headlock's quite a dangerous gentleman. I believe you can find him hanging out somewhere in Epside near Frankie's Grab and Go. Whatever it takes. Just don't go getting yourself killed on my behalf. Anyway, that's really all I know. Head back here when you've taken care of the situation. Good luck. Please visit us again if you're in the market for luxury items.
Even when I see it with my own eyes, it is still hard to believe.
I'm a little busy right now.
Need something? You lost, kiddo? Sounds like something a thief would say. I had some high hopes for this shop back when my husband and I opened it a while back. These days, if you ain't a regular, you're usually trouble. Sounds like we understand each other then.
I heard they had a breakthrough in the lab recently. All kinds of new possibilities.
Never heard of him. Now, are you gonna buy something or just annoy me all day? How am I supposed to know where he is? Huh. That makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. You just won't give up, will you? Yeah, I know Headlock can't stand them. And I heard some of the other Sioka can't either. That boy doesn't know how to keep himself out of trouble. What'd he do this time? You are so ignorant. They're not all bad apples like Headlock. In any case, if you're so desperate to find him, he and his friends are probably hanging out in Warehouse 4 or somewhere near there. I gotta ask, what are you gonna do with him? That's one way to punish him. You'll just bore him to death. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a business to get back to. If you aren't gonna buy anything, you better run along. See you around.
Keep it moving.
Back off.
And who do we have here? You here for business, or to get your head caved in? Is that so? I'm not just some low-life thug anymore. I'm with the Sioka now. You mess with me, you'll mess with the whole syndicate, and that won't end well for you. Oh yeah? Those are big words coming from a nobody. So go on, hotshot. Give me a reason why I should leave Tevin and his shitty little store alone. Go on, enlighten me. But don't waste my time. Wow, do you see how I'm shaking with fear? Oh wait, no I'm not. It's annoying how you're making sense right now. Sure, there may be some better uses of my time. It kills me to say this, but I see your point. Fine, we won't go around to the Emporium any longer. Whatever. Next time, I might not be so nice.
I'm watching you.
No funny business.
Hey there. Would you care to pick up an exquisite gift while you're here? Yes. Can I help you? Oh my. Now that is a true relief. I thought I would never be rid of him. I'm not one to get involved with the rabble, so I'm glad you came along when you did. Thank you for your help. Oh, I carry all sorts of unique items from across the settled systems. Luxury products for the discerning buyer. I'm not one to boast, but my shop won me my position as Administrator Bayou's personal decorator. His penthouse is my pièce de résistance. Before I forget, I also pay top credits to travelers that bring me unique baubles and trinkets, so keep your eyes open as you explore the spaceways. Oh yes, absolutely. It was good to have you in my shop. Farewell.
Cause any trouble? Then I'll try to see you.
System's premier financial institution.
What's staring?
Something I can do for you, love. Again. Look, you can tell Mr. Okaribo that I'm doing everything I can. Blood from a stone, if you'll pardon the expression. Oh. I'm afraid I've stepped right into it again. Damn. You aren't here about Mr. Okaribo's debt to Kelkor. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Let me start over. My name's Clover McKenna, but you can call me Chloe. Sorry for me outburst. That's kind of you. This mess with Mr. Okaribo over at the Neon Mining League has really thrown me off my game. It's a shop over in Akuchi Market. You know, the plaza next to Ryujin Tower? They sell all sorts of mining supplies and raw materials. It's a fine little shop, well-stocked and immaculate. Mr. Okaribo is the owner. He's a lovely, lovely man. But his aspirations are one grav jump longer than his business instincts. If only you knew. Mr. Okaribo owes a substantial debt to Keltkor. I've given him more than enough time to try and come up with the money, but my father's patience is running out. Frankly, I don't know how much longer I can stall. You'd be willing to help out. That's awfully kind of you. Just because I work for a megacorp doesn't mean I don't have a heart. Saburo, Mr. Okaribo, he's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, especially in this city. He really needs help, but he's too proud to accept any money from me. Maybe he'd listen to someone like you? That is a rather personal question, and I would prefer we kept things professional, if you don't mind. Oh, that'd be splendid. Just amazing. If you can get his debt off my conscience, I'd be grateful. It's been on my mind so much I've been keeping a diary. And don't worry about payment. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. McKenna always keeps that promise. For now, but let's not mistake my position for what it really is. A test set out by my father. He's set to retire in a few years, and I'm his only next of kin. But I'm guessing he's not sure if I'm ready to take over the company. So he shuttles me out here for two reasons. One, to flash a friendly face for our clients he flies out here as a perk. And two, gets his firebrand of a daughter as far away from him as possible. He's a real piece of work. Because my father has a ridiculous sense of humor, and I can't stand the name Clover. I mean, seriously, Clover? Our family's Irish, for God's sake. I don't think he could have possibly been more on the nose with that name. Ha ha, very funny, Dad. When he opened the shop, he outfitted it with equipment from our company. Spent a bundle of cash he didn't have. Obviously, business hasn't been going well, because he's fallen way behind on his payments. Opening a mining business on a world almost entirely covered in ocean probably wasn't the most savvy of business plans. I suppose he intended to cater to travelers that were passing through our system. But it's clearly backfired. A poor man. Nice visiting with you.
What do you want to do for the break later?
If you'll excuse
I don't know,
me,
but I gotta
have
get out
the
of here.
deadline you need.
Spent
Non-stop interruptions since this morning, and I'm not...
I'm glad I ended up at CalCorp. Miss McKenna treats her employees like family.
One of those days, huh?
More like
You're out there a lot, right?
You know what, Space?
Want to see?
Submit your application now.
Here too. It's a wonderful day, my friend. Yes, my friend. It's amazing how much my fellow merchants have been motivated thanks to your kind actions. Knowing that no one's been alone with their troubles is just what everyone needed to hear, and now they're rising to the occasion. It's the dawn of a new day, my friend, and we have you to thank for it. Oh, she did. Miss McKenna is very kind, but I cannot accept. It is my responsibility to pay the loan. If I cannot, then what happens, happens. Really? Let me take a look. Oh, I did not know she felt this way. She is always so professional. I thought she did not like me. That is why I have sent proxies to negotiate my debt. And I like her. Oh, that came out wrong. What I meant to say was, I respect her business acumen. Look at me. My palms are sweating. Regardless, you have done me a service, and for that, I thank you. You can tell Miss McKenna, I mean Chloe, that I accept her offer. I do have feelings for her, and maybe now I will have the courage to tell her. I know they say never to mix business with pleasure, but there are always exceptions. I hope you have a glorious day, my friend.
Clover McKenna at your... Welcome to CalCorp. That's fantastic! I was worried he'd take it the wrong way, so I'm glad you were able to convince him. I'll arrange for the funds to be transferred immediately. Hopefully Father will forgive the late fees. And if he doesn't, I can always reimburse them when he retires. In any case, thank you. And here, for your efforts.
Want to challenge your instincts and hone those corporate skills?
We should push for more genetic diversity in our crops. I mean,
Can I get you anything? Hello. I'm sorry if I sound rude, but would you mind coming back later? We're actually closed right now. I just forget to pull down the shutters. I'm afraid so, but I don't really want to talk about it right now. Perhaps another time, when I'm feeling up to it. I'm afraid not, but come back tomorrow and perhaps I'll be strong enough to speak to you. Right now, I can't.
If you got any spare creds, I can always take them off your hands. Hey, Chief, you got any creds you can spare? Thank you kindly. You're a class bass, you know that? I'll do my best to someday pay you back. Street's honor. This isn't a donation, it's an investment. Chief, you're a real safety net. You put the ka-ching in catching. Oh, it's all right. Once per day is enough. I don't want you to go poor. Later, Gator. Chief.
I said I'd talk to you sometime tomorrow. Please, leave me alone. Be careful. Neon is a dangerous place.
Nope, nothing. Pretty slow days so far.
Tired of just looking around. It would be nice if it would stop raining. Oh, there you are. I'm feeling a bit better today. Sorry about all that before. The thing is, well, I lost my husband Thomas last week. He supposedly had a heart attack and fell from the upper platform. Of course, that's the official word from Neon Security. I'm not so sure they're telling me the truth. No, they certainly aren't. How that security officer could stand there and tell me Thomas died of a heart attack. Well, it's a damn lie is what it is. I'm sorry, this is my problem. You're just here to shop, and here I am filling your head with my conspiracy theories. Please forgive me. Oh my. You're the first person in this awful, awful city that's reached out to help me. Thank you. The truth is all I've ever wanted. I suppose the proper place to start would be with Neon Security's witness, Tevin Anastas, that pompous ass over at the Emporium in Neon. Just please be very careful. I don't want to end up with 2 murders on my conscience. Tevin owns the Emporium over in Bayou Plaza. He's a horribly overbearing, pretentious man who wouldn't dare set foot in the underbelly. The strange thing is, we've never had to deal with him in person. Why he'd be involved in Thomas's death is absolutely beyond me. Oh, everyone has problems with Neon Security. They're terribly corrupt, with Administrator Bayou using them as his own personal brute squad. They come in here from time to time, but apart from being forced to give them employee discounts, I've never had anything suspicious happen. It was nice speaking to you.
All of our items are guaranteed to be of the highest quality. Quieter, much quieter. I think dealing with Headlock has convinced Seoka to back off from harassing my shop. And according to what I've heard, everyone else's. This should finally give me the time I need to concentrate on running my business, rather than wasting time looking over my shoulder. I'm not telling you a thing. I've already reported what I saw to security. Stop wasting my time and leave. Your presence is bad for business. There's nothing to tell you. Get it through your skull. Nah, how did I get involved in this? Oh my god, enough! I'll tell you what I know, if it'll get you to leave. I saw it happen. Thomas was murdered and thrown into the ocean. Afterwards, I foolishly reported the incident to security. For my efforts, I was rewarded with a gun to my head and threatened with death if I didn't keep silent. No, the officer that threatened me was completely different. And the murderer wasn't wearing a uniform. I'd wager that the murdering bastard has a friend in security that's covering things up for him. It was hard to hear over the commotion, but I'm sure I heard Thomas call his attacker Russell and Rusty a few times. From what I could gather, the attacker was after credits, and Thomas refused to give him any. After that, well, Thomas went for a swim. God, no. I've seen him around here and there, but if he ever were to come into my shop, I tell him to leave immediately. In fact, I would never even talk to someone like him. I have no business dealing with petty criminals or Aurora addicts. Where else would someone like him be, hmm? He stays at the sleep crates near Madame Sauvage's place. In any case, when you confront him, my name cannot be mentioned. I very much dislike sharing Thomas's briny fate. And with that, I must insist you leave me in peace. That is, of course, unless you'd like to make a hefty purchase.
Empside's a pet place for tourists these days.
Hey, buddy. Why don't you throw a few credits my way, huh? Help a guy out, yeah? End up in the ocean? What the hell are you... Wait. No. He told me that everything was taken care of. No one would know. Listen, you gotta hear me out. I never meant to do anything. It was an accident. I got in a fight with Thomas. I asked him for some creds, but the bastard wouldn't give me anything. Things got out of hand. He ended up falling off the upper platform. It was an accident, I swear. Then I called my buddy in security and told him what happened. He took care of everything after that. Hell no, I'm not doing that. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a rat. Listen, I messed up, I know that. But nothing can change what's already done. Just let me go and I'll disappear forever. No one will ever see me again. No one even needs to know I'm alive. Just... come on, just let me go. Oh my God. You don't need to worry. No one will ever see me again. I swear it.
Hey, no funny stuff for that booze pack.
Kind of power. I'm glad it is in your hands.
Thank you. Thomas didn't die of a heart attack. That's a total lie. Please, tell me everything you know. I want to hear it all. I knew it. I just knew that I was being fed lies. Nothing added up right from the start. Neon security. How can they sleep at night and act like my husband's life wasn't worth anything? My husband's killer. Did you find him? What happened to him? Rusty. I believe he was one of the Generdyne workers that would come around and cause trouble. Steal things, vandalize, or the like. They were a rowdy bunch. My husband usually handled the troublemakers and became well acquainted with Rusty and his so-called friends. Vandalism and shoplifting is one thing, but murder? I just never thought things could go this far. So, what did you do with Rusty? Well, I guess I don't much care for what you did with him, as long as he paid for what he did. And about security, did you find out which officer is behind the cover-up? Yes, you're right. It just boils my blood thinking about what they did. But I must say that I feel oddly vindicated just by knowing the truth. The uncertainty was constantly eating away at me. At least I can take solace knowing that justice was served. At least to some degree. I never would have figured out the truth without you. I have credits for you here. Oh, you're so sweet. In any case, please know how grateful I am that you helped me. You're the only person to ever show kindness to me in this city. And now that I know the truth, I can try to focus on healing. Thank you for everything. From both myself and Thomas.
Kind of soup.
Whoa, jeez!
thought you were, never mind. Don't worry about it. No problem. Ignore me. I'm nobody. Nobody at all. I'll pay your little fine here, but I better not see you again.
Every time he pays NSEC, he enables them He's telling them it's okay to blackmail us. It's ridiculous!
It's the way things are, James.
All right.
There's nothing we can do about it.
Change in the city.
How can
Hey
I
there.
help you today?
Welcome to Newell's. Oh. Okay. Yeah. That'd be extremely helpful. I honestly don't know what to say. Fair enough. Just be careful when you're dealing with Siegert. He can be surprisingly unreasonable when he's cornered. Of course! I have a huge inventory to choose. Thanks for stopping by our shop.
Now, James, we're fully stocked on supplies today. Dietrich is actually quite a lovely man, though lately he's been under a lot of pressure, which has made him rather bitter. When we first opened our business here in Akuchi Market, he was actually very helpful. Offered us advice. Didn't treat us like competition at all. I'm sorry, I just don't believe Dietrich is doing anything wrong paying off Neon security. We all do what we have to do to survive in this wretched city. Unfortunately, my husband is convinced that fighting City Hall is the way to solve all of Neon's problems. I think he's wrong. Thank you for stopping by. Hey.
I had to chase more those two.
Come on in, please. Sure, I have every... Welcome to Sick Heart's Outfitters. Yes, I'm aware of James's objections. That's partly why I don't go to the meetings. But if I don't pay Dexler, I'll lose my business. And what good would joining the Alliance do then? So, really, I don't have a choice here. If they want to fight Neon security, they can. But I need to protect my livelihood. Owen Dexler is head of Neon security. But he is less concerned with crime than he is siphoning money from honest businesses. But it's not just him. All of Neon is corrupt. The only way to survive is to give in to their demands. Easy for him to say, he doesn't have my debts. If I don't pay Dexler, I might lose my inventory. And if I lose my inventory, I'll lose my store. And why is that? They have a funny way of showing it. James just doesn't give me a cold shoulder. It's basically frozen. You're starting to make a lot of sense. Okay, You've convinced me. I will stop paying Dexla his safety assurance fee. And tell the Newells I will come to the next meeting. Maybe I will even bring some beverages and snacks. You can't stand up to Neon security on an empty stomach.
Ryujin is hiring the best and brightest of today.
Equipment and accessories for all your... We're fully stocked and ready to sell. Well, I'll be. And all you had to do was... talk to him? Meanwhile, I was so damn stubborn, I made this whole thing harder than it had to be.
Given you almost went blind, working with half a kilo of fish guts in your eye. Yeah, I'd agree.
And I'd still be wandering around that storage vat helpless, if not for you. Thanks for your help on this. The Merchants Alliance is finally united. I don't know if we'll ever get a fair shake in the city, but it's a start. Appreciate the help. I arrived in Neon almost, 20 years ago? I had gotten a job at Xenofresh through a friend and started working on the loading docks. After a few years, they moved me up to Kazanbas processing, and that's where I met Rosa for the first time. She was my supervisor, but we hit it off right away. It wasn't long before we decided to quit Xenofresh, get married, and start our own business. We've been in love ever since. Tell everyone you know about our store. If you have a moment, say. The first time I brought up the subject, we got into a huge argument. Sigurd said he had every intention of paying Neon security and that it was final. After that, I tried to speak to him a few times, but he's always been too busy to spend the time to sit down and have a decent conversation. It's obvious he has no intentions of talking to me anymore. I honestly don't know what I did to make him so angry with me. Watch your back out there.
Ah, whenever I eat here, I cannot help but taste dust and dirt. I do not think I am imagining it.
Keep your eyes peeled for signs of terramorphin.
Do you imagine anyone actually enjoys living here? I simply cannot.
You know, I believe we've got the best mining team ever assembled here.
Down here.
Welcome, welcome. Nice to meet you. Name's Trevor. Mining Director for the Deimos Mining Project here in scenic underground Sidonia. I could spare a minute or two to chat. So long as you're not looking for mining work, I suppose. Argos, huh? Yeah, I've heard of them. That's great, but yeah, unfortunately all our mining contracts are filled right now.
Unless, maybe you could help me out with a job. Off the books.
I love the enthusiasm. Now do yourself a favor and get to know some of the miners. It'll remind you what you're doing this for. Anyway, I'm getting off track. See, you might have noticed that our equipment ain't exactly holding together like it used to. Problem is, we can't get new equipment unless we start exceeding our quotas. And we can't do that until we get new equipment. A real dilemma, right? I've got a plan for solving our little problem, though. Okay, glad you're still on board. First, I need someone from the outside to bolster our yields so we can prove that we can exceed our quota. I'll fill you in on the rest of the details after you've hauled up some ore. One standard quota should do. I need to know I can trust you with the easy stuff first. When you've got enough, drop it off in the bin over there for processing. Then come see me.
Macedonia's importance to the United Colonies and its industry, this certainly puts it to rest.
Okay, that ore you mined is really gonna bolster our numbers.
Oh, that! Oh, nothing to worry about. We do fracking on Mars with subterranean particle detonations. Those announcements are just to let people know when to expect them. Now, you probably felt the rumble when the detonations actually go off. That's all it is. Not too bad, eh? Basically, it's high-tech mining. We use immensely powerful controlled particle detonations deep underground to loosen up subterranean gases and other difficult-to-gather resources so we can harvest them. Sounds way more dangerous than it is. Probably. Actually, it's still pretty dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Oh, come on, mate. It's perfectly safe. We're miles away, so all we get is a little jiggle now and again. Just make sure to hold the railing when going downstairs and you'll be fine.
Great. Now, the next part is a little trickier. Our Director of Mining Operations, Peter Brennan, fired his last assistant over a month ago. Peter's the only one who can approve the order for new equipment, and unfortunately, he's useless without an assistant. I think I've got a surefire way for you to get that job. Then you, as his assistant, can get him to sign off on the approval. Now hold on, it's not that easy. You'll need to apply for it like anyone else. Head to the Deimos Star Yard's office up in orbit to fill out the application. It's where that job is posted. Come back and see me when you've done that, and we'll talk about how to secure the position for you.
Surely there must be someone else who can take such a ridiculous job. Always a satisfying moment to return to your ship.
Airlock integrity looks good.
Service, Captain. When humanity finally...
I wish Deimos...
Emos and the UC are inexorably tied together. If one fails, the other does. Am I...
Attention! Unidentified vessel. You have no faction markings or registered manufacturer. Please maintain course while we scan you. Assuming scans even work on whatever it is you're flying. Scan complete. Well...
Glad I'm training out here and not somewhere like on the surface.
Don't worry. We're gonna make sure you get that job. Okay, now we need to ensure you get hired. Basically, we'll need to make sure you're the only choice. To do that, you'll need to get access to the HR terminal in the corporate office upstairs on the main level. If you delete the other applications from the system, you'll be a shoo-in. Believe me, if you knew Tia, you wouldn't worry. I'll be honest, she's so overworked and behind in her tasks that I don't even think she knows there are any applications. That's a good point, though. Once your application is in, I'll ping her and ask her to take a look to see if any applications came in for me. That should get her to finally take a look. See yours, and if all goes well, she'll hire you on the spot. That's the spirit! Believe me, this is gonna help everyone. By the way, the HR password is password spelled backwards, which Tia thinks is pretty clever. She gets talkative during happy hour, and loud. Surprised everyone doesn't know her password, honestly. Anyway, should be pretty easy. Good luck.
Deimos, one of the earliest shipbuilders, and desperate
Trust
to
me,
remain relevant.
this is the best shot we've got at getting that request approved. And I can say that I've got some good news for you. I just saw the company message go out that you've been hired as Peter's assistant. Congratulations. They won't. I'll tell you a little secret. No one really cares too much. I'm not saying anyone's bad at their job, just that everyone's too busy and overworked to care. Seriously, no worries, mate. I've been here long enough to know how they operate up there. Next step should be easy. Just go to work for Peter, and when you get access to his terminal messages, you'll see my request. All you've got to do is approve that request, and we'll be right on with it. Then, we can get that new equipment and show corporate how it's done.
Mining must be a fun job, or else why would we keep getting so many applicants? Oh, you're finally back. I feel like you've been gone for ages. Do you know how tough this job is without an assistant? Good. Now, let's make... You look a bit different than I remembered. Did you go to Enhance? No. Now I remember. They told me they sent me someone new. Anyway, when they told me how poorly you did on your application questions, I had my doubts. But at least you showed up on time, so maybe there's hope? Well, enough chit-chat. Let's get to work. Not, very enthusiastic. Noted. Well, I need something done, and I don't want to go looking for someone to fire you just yet. So, I have a shipment I'm waiting for. Don't know where it is. Last time this happened, my assistant went to speak to the governor. I'm sure he'll help you to get it sorted out. Now, kindly, off with you. What's in the shipment? A good assistant knows it's not their place to ask. Bad assistants get fired. Mediocre assistants get... You know what? I forgot where I was going with this, but it doesn't matter. Just get it for me, will you? Also, I don't quite remember. But it is important, that I know. I could, but we'd be wasting valuable time, so no. Oh, do they cover nothing in orientation anymore? No. Strike that. We got rid of orientation, didn't we? Anyway, it's not important. Your job is easy. You do what I ask, and that's pretty much it. I'm surprised you've forgotten that all right, new assistant. I keep forgetting. I don't know. At first I thought I had multiple assistants that rotated in and out, but it seems I've only ever had one at a time, and they all just stopped showing up. I believe my last assistant was supposed to get me some coffee, but never came back. I honestly wasn't listening to whatever they were crying about. Oh, you're done?
It would never work.
Ever been to Aquila? Those security.
I tell you, Sidonia's a great place to open up a business. We've really been booming lately, despite what the news media's been reporting. Ah, hello. Welcome. I don't usually have time to speak with random people off the street, but I'd be happy to help if it's something quick. What can I do for you? Something important, huh? Well, lay it out for me. Well then, you've been quite busy making a name for yourself, haven't you? Heard of you. Of course, how could I not?
It sounds as though you have been spying on us, Governor.
Not exactly spying. Word gets around and I'm one to listen when it does. I like to know what goes on in my city. So look, I admire a go-getter like yourself. You're not in trouble unless you make trouble. And I don't think you're the type. I know you're not really Mr. Brennan's assistant. I don't know exactly what you're up to, but I have little reason to suspect you're up to no good. So let's cut to brass tacks. What can I do for you? Word travels fast around Sidonia. It's my business to know these things. Frankly, I'm not worried about you. As long as you play your cards right, it'll stay that way. Oh, I know exactly what happened to that shipment. However, I suspect Mr. Brennan neglected to tell you that I'm holding it due to his immense backlog of unpaid taxes. Then again, he may be unaware. Look, I'll tell you what. I'll release that shipment for you. But I'm going to need a favor first, since you seem to be adept at keeping quiet. See, my personal spacecraft was stolen, likely by Crimson Fleet pirates. I need someone to find it. Then I need that someone to destroy it. Discreetly. I need tight lips on this. Oh, it's a few reasons. I don't want this mired in their process. Also, it's a bit of an embarrassment for a sitting governor to lose a ship. So I'd rather that not get out. I'm sure you understand. Well, this is a tricky situation indeed. Not to get bogged down in details, but assuming this is the work of pirates, it's best to destroy the ship and everybody on board. Makes it cleaner for insurance purposes. Then we have an agreement. I'll send you to the ship's last known location. Remember, not a word of this leaves this room.
Any adventure you can fly away from.
Hey, Frank. Don't mean to bother you, but I could really use some help here. I'm worried. I'm running out of time here, so if you could hurry it up, I'd appreciate it. It is good to see someone out here. I've been drifting alone here for 2 days without help. Haven't seen your ship in this sector before. Must be a rook, whatever. As long as you've got extra ship parts to help with repairs, you're free to come aboard.
Nice clean dock, Captain.
Welcome aboard. As you can see, we are in a real bind here. But I think we can both help each other out. If you can spare some ship parts to help us make repairs, we've got something you can use to blackmail this ship's owner, one Governor Hurst of Sidonia. Seems like that could be valuable to a rook like you trying to prove yourself. Hurst sent us a note, through a broker, of course. He wanted us to clean up any signs of his affair and destroy his ship for insurance purposes. Yet, he has the audacity to call us criminals. Anyway, we have a note from him. The public would love to know about it. I'm sure you could present it to him and get whatever you wanted. Thanks, Rook. You've really bailed us out of a sticky situation. Here, you can take this letter from Hurst. It's definitely the sort of thing he wouldn't want getting out. I'm sure he'll pay handsomely to get it back, as long as you feel comfortable going to Sidonia. They tend not to like us Briggs around those spots, but there's ways of being sneaky about it. Good luck, and good fortune.
Take what you must. Leave the rest for the scavengers.
You looking for any? Cool. Come back anytime.
Keep a lookout. Notify us if you see anything suspicious.
Sure, it's good to see you. I'm eager to conclude our business together. Did you, take care of my little problem? Good. I'll release Mr. Brennan's shipment to you as promised. I'll even defer his taxes as a little bonus. You really helped me out of this bind. Don't take this the wrong way, but I hope I'm never in need of your help like this again.